Usually the first thing people want to know when they come to see me about an injury that they've recently suffered in a car crash is what are the first steps I should take after the accident? We find that very often people get confused and upset when they're involved in a crash. The most important thing to remember is, number one, don't get terribly upset at the scene of the crash. It's not going to make anything any better or make it go in your favor to be accusative or lose your temper at the scene of a crash. What is most important when you're involved in a crash on the highway is, number one, to be sure that you and those that you care about and even the other party that's involved in the crash with you are out of harm's way as quickly as possible. This means get out of the car, move to the side of the road. If the car can be moved, make sure it gets moved out of the way into a safe position on the side of the highway. The worst thing that could happen is to have a second crash after your first crash because the cars weren't safely moved away from the scene. That being said, sometimes it's safe to leave the cars where they are. The next most important thing is to get information on who was driving the other car. Make sure you look and see who that person was and that you verify their identity by getting their driver's license as well as their information on insurance on the vehicle they were driving. The next most important thing is to take a couple of minutes to assess your own body, how you feel, and by all means call 911. The most important thing you can do to preserve the evidence at the scene of a crime or an accident is to summon the police because they will do a relatively thorough investigation. Finally, the next most important thing you can do is retain counsel after you get immediate medical care. And the reason for that is because sometimes the police don't do the thorough job they should. So make sure you follow those steps immediately after each incident that you might be involved in, and if your family happens to be involved in it, give them those steps to follow as well.